Hey, welcome to Shatter the Glass. Listen, people, I just want to jump straight into it. I had wanted to talk about Potomac for like 2 weeks, right? Ever since actually the incident that happened at Cherie's house. And I waited, and I'm actually glad that I waited. But I was upset because I felt like Potomac is playing games. They have waited until this last part of the season to even have anything really worth discussing, right? So I felt, in my opinion, that they were been playing with the viewers. And it's almost like if this was even pushed to be delayed because of everything that was happening with Married to Medicine. And so maybe not to have the show's overcast, but now that Married to Medicine has um, finalized, right? Now we're getting more out of Potomac. And I almost feel like, hell, where they at, this is where they probably should have started. You understand? Um, we knew that a situation had taken place with some of the ladies last year at the wrap up filming, and that it was an altercation that was all over the blogs and stuff. But what we didn't really know is, I'll speak for myself, um, how it got there and all of the particular people that were named in the situation. And so we got that in this last episode, sort of. Um, and it kind of helps you put some pieces together on the dynamic of these ladies. I want to go lady by lady for this video, just because I feel like there was so much that had transpired and we were able to see. And I know that people were questioning, oh, why does Mia get first chair, right? Well, this last episode shows you why Mia is getting first chair, right? All of the stuff that has been happening behind the scenes with her and Gordon and so forth. Um, this last episode pushed her to first chair, if that makes any sense, right? Because there's so much that has been going on with her and Gordon, and we've seen some of that even play out in social media. Anyway, I want to get to who I like to call Auntie Karen. I'm gonna see if I don't know if I can zoom and just make Karen a little bigger or something like that. Maybe not. Okay, maybe that works. Um, First I want to say prayers over to the Grand Dame. Her incident could have been fatal, and I'm glad that it wasn't. I wouldn't, want that to happen to anyone. And as a person who has um, definitely been hit by a driver where two of my cars were totaled by these other drivers. Not that they had any DUIs or anything like that, but car accidents can be very, very fatal, very, very dangerous. And so being mindful of that, um, it was very unnerving to kind of see. But I'm just happy that she's okay and that whatever she is going through, that you know she either gets the help that she needs or takes the time that she needs or whatever. And I was listening to someone else, and I guess Karen had mentioned the loss of her mom, and that impacting on her, like the grief, right? And so one thing with grievance is that you don't know how things are going to transpire with you. And as a person who recently lost my mom, well, in 2022, there are still days where it's an onset cry. You don't even know why you're crying. Um, and so when you are close to um, a loved one who has transitioned and you're dealing with that process, it can be a lot. And so I know people are like, oh no, not the ground down. Just saying all different types of things. I've seen some things. Sometimes people can be a little harsh. Um, it can be a lot. Should anyone drink and drive? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But should anyone judge how grievance can come on? If you haven't walked in these shoes, you have no idea. You have no idea. Um, I wish she would have called an Uber. I wish she wasn't alone. I wish someone would have gave her a ride, right? Because none of this would have even happened if that was the case. However, it also is a reality to what could play on your mind in a moment's notice when you're going through grievance, because it's very real. It is very real. I feel like this season she has given her best or most to try to rope these girls in together, and be supportive to each one of them this season in her way, in her own way, right? Um, little bit of shade and all that stuff, absolutely. But I don't even feel like in this season she took as many shade jabs that she would usually give. She took it light this season. But what I will say is that she was always very forthcoming on, let me try to unite these girls, because she understood that the dynamic of all of the relationships were hanging by a thread, literally, right? Hanging by a thread. And so I just feel like let's keep Karen in hopefully good spirits. Hopefully she's all right. She meant to do well this season, and we don't know all of the particulars that led her to her incident that she just had at all. And that can't be easy. That can't be easy with this set of girls. That can't be easy in front of people's TVs and cameras and so forth, right? Um, and so I'm just gonna leave that there on Karen. I will say, to me, she looked stunning for this reunion, and definitely one of the top tier, best dressed, top tier. Whoever is styling them and guiding them, I wish that they would have went to Married to Medicine, because I actually liked these looks uh, much better. But I don't know, maybe it's the Housewives things. The Housewives come together. Anybody who's not a part of the Housewife brand, like the other shows when they do their reunions, I guess they just you get what you get, honey. Okay, let's move right on. I want to go to Aneka and Wendy. I really feel like this season they had nothing to give, and I'm gonna say that and stand on it, because okay, it dragged out for too long. The girl did try to apologize. Wendy wasn't trying to hear it, and perhaps she did really want to be the star of the show. And now listen, I love Wendy. I love her, the family dynamic. I love her and Eddie's relationship for what they portray. Um, I love their moments with their kids, all of that, right? I do. I really do. But whatever it was between her and this young lady here, Neka, they both look great. They both look great. Um, it just lasted too long and just turned to mush. And I think that if they would have addressed all of the elephants in the room, um, in a particular moment, probably like second episode, third episode into the storyline, then it wouldn't have felt the way it did. Like it fell flat for me. I will say, sorry to hear that Aneka and her husband, um, their pregnancy challenges and stuff like that. That too is not an easy topic. And to share that and show that is not easy either. Because it's an emotional roller coaster with that as well. I do salute her though for saying in this last episode that she stood into and calling Ashley's friend out on the bullshit that she brought to the table, right? Like, let's be real. I'm gonna get to Ashley later, but like, she stepped in, and probably because she does have a semi relationship with Candace, but I also believe that she's a person on if it's right when it's right and it's right, it's right. And if you're wrong when it's wrong, you're wrong. And it was wrong. And so salute to her for being a woman who stood on it. It wasn't about picking sides. She didn't have a bone in this fight, right? Or a dog in this fight. And to stand on principle and to be like, nah, your friend could have just kept it cute and stayed where she was at is very truth telling, right? In comparison to people who let themselves, their stylists add in and whatever. So that is my point on them. I liked seeing Wendy and Eddie join into a different business venture. I love their support that they show each other through the process. I think all of that is dope. I think that um, I wanted to probably see more out of Wendy with her own personal projects and things that she was working on rather than this BS fight with Ineka. And that's just real. And so for that, like that, this thing between them two dragged out for so long, it made the show corny. It did. Um, let's move up to this chick. So Robin is allegedly um not returning, right? I think that Bravo might have been trying to give her an opportunity to speak on um, whatever with her and Juan, and not Juan's situation with his job, but them as a couple. Mm? And I don't think Juan was really having it. Like, we'll do enough to be covered in the show in this season, right? But I don't really want to relive the situation. I don't want to dive deep. I don't want people in our business. I don't want to show anything, right? And people can feel like that. There's people who are private. I know a bunch of people who are private, super private. I'm private in its own way. Um, but I think that this was Bravo's opportunity to let her try to redeem herself, her role within the friend group, but also show and highlight what's happening with the marriage. And she tried a little, but if you don't have someone that's willing to show up and stand next to you, it ain't gonna happen. And I just feel like it was that. I mean, her and Giselle, even with them, we didn't see them as cozy with each other on screen in this. But then again, when you already know, you already know, and we all know that they're friends. So, and like real friends. Um, so there wasn't much, not even out of them, other than the hikis and talking about the others, right? And then I will say what I did appreciate in the beginning was them doing their friend invention for her, right? The check-ins. Real friends will do that. Real friends will call you out. Real friends will ask those hard questions that other people dare not ask, right? I do feel like they were trying to do that, but again, if you're not really giving, it's nothing for people to work with. Um, let's move on because yeah, like I said, then sweet baby Candace. Sweet baby Candace. Candace has been in the headlines, right? You, just even recently. Forget leaving the show, um, which I think is fair, right? It's not a forever, as she said. I will say this, girlfriend, you can't marry a white man and then be like, well, I mean, I guess you can say you want some brown babies, but you do have to understand that the chances of them being as brown as you go out the window if your husband is white. Point blank, period. So I don't know. I only saw the clip, so I don't even want to take anything out of context. People are saying, oh, she has issues with colorism and all these different things. Um, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. What I did want from her, though, was to take responsibility this season, and I don't feel like she really did because there was really no beef between her and Robin other than like, okay, maybe you were quiet about whatever happened with your husband because you're focusing on mine. And I really don't even think that that was the case, to be honest. Robin didn't come off malicious. She wasn't trying. She was the only one rotting um, with Candace's husband. And I feel like, Candace does throw low. Like, I mean, but she can give them. You know what I mean? Candace can give a good read. And that's why I think fans love her, people love her, and stuff like that. It's just that she does always end up in these unfortunate situations that be really going left. Um, and the whole thing with her and Giselle, I can see that, right? I get it. I can get that. Her and Robin, though, I don't get. I think that if she would have took accountability for the things that she was posting, and actually heard where Robin was saying, like, come on, you talking about my man, you talking about my family, you doing the most right now. Then it would have been a different dynamic between them two. But Candace wasn't trying to go there. She wasn't trying to like, what did I do? What did I do? Your post, point blank, period. And I think Robin should have just said, I don't like the things you said about my husband on social media. I think you just took it too far. But they had a conversation, but I just don't feel like it really developed into anything and went anywhere because everybody was, when you're talking to somebody and it just goes over their head or they're not willing or everyone comes in with their own mindset and they're not shifting from it, right? I'm standing on my perspective. That's dangerous in a friendship because if I can't share to you how I feel and you can't see it from my viewpoint, then yeah, we're not going to be able to move past it. And that's just where they are with that. Um, Now, this situation with Miss Deborah, which is Ashley's friend, um, even if you did hear them talking about you, it's within your own conscious right of, do I want to go and address her? um, or how far does this go? And if you're throwing a drink on somebody, it's already an initiation for it to go left. It's already been initiated to go left. What do you say? Oh, thanks for throwing a drink at me or on me. Nobody's doing that. Nobody is doing that. Nobody. Anybody who says that they are a liar, right? And so when this lady now threw this drink and like, oh, you were talking about me and now you don't want to say nothing to my face, da da da. Candace doesn't call her the help until after. And my thing is you did wait for that moment. You did wait for that moment. I'm not sure. Like, I don't blame Ashley for inviting her. That's your friend. That's who you hang out with, whatever, whatever. I do feel like you should have done your due diligence to make it super clear. This is my job, so let's not come in here with no BS, right? You can catch her another day, another time, whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And maybe Deborah didn't feel like she could, but yeah, no. You're not throwing a drink in somebody's face and it don't go left. Sorry, not sorry. And Deborah is not to be trusted because she lied. She lied. And I wouldn't even want her around anyway because of the lies, right? It was clear for that. Um, like you made great entertainment or you gave great entertainment because of these lies. But at the end of the day, you still playing with people's families and stuff like that. So how funny is it? It's not. I think that Candace should take a time out. She has a lot of things. She's a bright, beautiful girl. I know that you know, she brought out the whole wanting to be a mom, wanting to push her music career. There's certain things, and perhaps being on the TV doesn't, in this way, is not helping any of those situations. And I can totally see her taking this break, working on some things, and then coming back and saying, we're pregnant. So let's see. Let's see. Let's see what she does and how this plays out. Next, I'm gonna skip over Ashley. Let's get to Giselle. Condolences out to Giselle's dad, family on the losing of her dad. Losing a parent is not easy, which is what I had already, just said with the whole Karen situation. I think seeing her with her girls was touching because the girls have been on the show since the beginning and to see them grow through their different stages was nice. I mean, I've seen other people have things to say about it, but I don't. I think that this is her family, this is her life, these are her daughters, this is a part of what she's doing and going through. Now, these housewives with no husbands, I don't know how you a housewife, but that's just a different point. That's a Bravo branding thing, right? Um, but I do feel like that um, her, whatever with her and Wendy, is only deep because of Candace. Um, I don't think that besides her, I don't want to call the man her boy toy, but whoever the guy is that she was dating, like there wasn't much to offer there. Um, and out of the girls, they're funny. I think they're probably protective over their mom and who their mom is dating, and they want somebody that's going to be a good fit for her, right? Like or the oldest daughter, um, Grace seems like she plays no games when it comes to her mom and wants more for her mom. And I think based on whatever she has saw with her mom in the dating pool, she's not going to be allowing that for herself, because you can even see that with the dynamic of their dad, right? She ain't with the BS, and it just exudes over the screen to me, in my opinion. Um, you know, if she is the leader of this helm of women, then I do think that it would have been like, Wendy, you and I need to have a conversation. Me and Candace got this thing going, but it don't really concern you, right? Because that's the only ones that she was beefing with, and it only seemed so thick in tension because of that. Um, and the fact that, I think Wendy might be a little petty, just a little bit. Wendy likes to hold on to things a little too long, and we see that, and that might be Wendy's real personality, right? Holding on to things too long because we're still talking about, can we move past you saying that I had no substance? Now that was a deep read. Now, okay, you used to have substance. I would have been pissed off if somebody said that about me. No lie. I would have been pissed off if somebody said that about me. But what I am saying is that, was it too deep that they couldn't have a one-to-one conversation so that their situations in room spaces don't seem awkward? I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting to see where they go from there. Um, Now let's get into Ashley. Ashley is a funny girl. I think Ashley really hasn't had a storyline um since her and the husband took the split, right? The husband that she's not divorcing. Um and I feel like she she tries to make amends with people and then throws things right back into the fire. Like quickly too. Um and I think that, even with her family situation, they showed it a little bit, right? Um, but at the end of the day, she's not gonna leave what's butter in her bread. I don't think that anybody would. She's comfortable. He's made her comfortable as a part of the lifestyle. I mean, they said, according to the show, that she's still out there actively dating and stuff, but she's not going to take nobody serious. Because anybody serious can mess up her home stability, and I think that she's going to put the stability of her kids first, which is the right thing to do as a mom, right? But I don't know at what cost and detriment, because her and Mr. Michael, you know, whatever their relationship dynamic is just going to be quite interesting. Um, and I don't know whether you agree with it or not. People will probably go to any type of length when it comes to their kids. Now, when it comes to this friend of hers, girl, your friend is a liar. You saw that your friend lied. She definitely lied on Happy Eddie, and she definitely lied on Chris Bassett, which is where all of the drama started from in the first place. And if you knew that Candace was also invited, again, the conversation is to be had. Listen, Deborah's coming. I don't want no static. Deborah, Candace is going to be there. I don't want no static. People are grown. People are grown in age, but not in mind. And I'm going to say that again. People can be grown in age, but not in mind. And I don't think it would have been any harm or foul to say, listen, such and such is coming. Please, let's keep this easy. I don't want to, I don't want nothing too much going on. Um, maybe y'all can have a conversation, and if not, then it is what it is. Because they're not friends, and they don't owe each other a conversation in that regard, unless you want to address, why are you out here lying on my husband? And did you tell her, right? Because now it makes you wonder, Ashley, did you tell her to come out here and lie on these people's stuff to give a storyline, or is your friend thirsty to be on TV? And so she's going to make up things so that she can get some camera time of herself. Because we don't want to see Deborah. We don't want to see her brought on as a new housewife. I'm going to put it out there. We don't. We don't. We don't. We don't. We don't. We don't. And I think that it is unfortunate that someone else got hit and violated at a function that was to celebrate you and Giselle and what you got going on. It's just crazy to me. It's just crazy. Like I said, Ashley will start some shit and then bounce. We saw it when she addressed the whole Wendy situation. Like, Giselle's a big girl. She didn't need you to say nothing to Wendy. You chose to say something to Wendy, and it started the hellfire right at that moment when everybody was just chilling. Mm-mm. I know I've seen her and her others say she should go off the show. I'm neutral. I'm neutral. Stay or go. I don't really care. Um, but what I will give her is that she don't care. She'll beef with you. She ain't mad for long. She ain't mad for long. She don't mind showing up. She don't mind asking questions that she ain't got no business damn asking. Um, and she is one that can sit with both sides because that these girls are divided, but Ashley will go sit with both sets. So I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what she brings in at the reunion or next season. Um, who I didn't see was Mia. There we go. I kind of started off with her because of her and Gordon's situation, but I got questions, y'all. I ain't even gonna lie. I do. It seems like there's an understanding between her and Gordon. Then the whole thing with her medical stuff made me question her, right? Like, are you valid in anything that you're bringing up? And then to see Gordon unraveling, um, it's like, is he telling the truth? Because he damn sure pointed out, like, come on, stick to your storyline. Which one is it? Like, he calls her out to the table for it, and I'm just like, hmm. All right, you've been creeping with this dude. I am with Gordon on the fact of don't bring these people around your kids. Don't bring the kids involved into it. And like he said, you broke two of his rules, right? One, nothing flashy and fancy outside in public, and two, don't involve the kids. You know, when anybody can snap pictures and post them up and all that type of stuff. You're already doing too much. Already doing too much. Um, I also think that because they were already in a weird, rocky place with the business and family dynamic, it made it easier for her to go do her. And I think it made it easier for Gordon to accept for her to go do her, right? But it's just crazy. It's just crazy. I do feel like there's still an element to this story that is missing when it comes to them. And she's severing long relationships, right? The best friend who's oddly hanging around, but that's another story. Your relationship with her is gone or be trying to be mended, and then your 11-year marriage is frazzling too. And so I don't know. I would like to see what Mia brings to the table in the next season. I mean, I'm excited about the reunion as well, but I'm going to see what she brings to the table next season. I think this last episode or two kind of gives a little more insight that we weren't getting before. And so I'm curious. I am curious. But like I said, that whole medical scare thing still has me in a loop from last year. And I'm just like, is this girl telling the truth or not? You've been with this dude, y'all in a relationship. I mean, now we know you're definitely in a relationship, but you might have been really in a relationship before as well. Real talk. Real talk. And I will say, what I do believe her is, oh, I'm not in it for the money. once their businesses and stuff started to fall apart. But maybe in the beginning, absolutely. Which, like she said, that really messed Gordon up to hear. And why wouldn't it? The man is at a low point right now. And then to say, oh, my wife only got with me because of the money. No man wants to hear that. True or not true, no man wants to hear that. And damn sure don't want to publicize on these people's TV and network stations. So anyway, that is my sense of this whole season in a nutshell. Hoping that these girls can rekindle or shake this thing up. Stop being surface, show a little bit more. And I don't know if you need to add a different cast member or whatever. Do whatever y'all got to do because this show was doing well. And I just don't like the fact that it fell flat for this season. And although I do know everything has its ups and downs, that's just the realism of working in the industry or whatever. But they need to mend that. They need to mend that. They always look awkward in every group event, except for this last one where they all seem to be on the same page. And I'm with Karen. Don't have nobody in here that's going to endanger everybody or could endanger everybody. We're not doing that. We're not here for that. And that's the most respectable thing that was said for the entire season and to this group. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are about any of them, anything that I said. What are you feeling? How you feel about Kansas leaving? Uh, Wendy and Aneka finding some type of resolution. Robin stepping down. Um, if that is even true, right? I'm gonna say alleged because I don't know. I didn't feel like I seen a statement from her personally saying it. So I know how these people run with things. But anyway, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.